Alright guys, I've got a cup of plastic here. I'm going to cook this, heat this up. We got to break 350 after it's stirred. You always stir it when you shoot it because it'll be hotter on top. It needs to be 350 all the way through. Alright, and then we're going to mix this coloring. Virginia Shad color. Alright folks, now I got a recipe book. I keep my recipe, all the colors in and write down what exactly how I'm going to mix them, and I always look at the color before I start, even though it's something I made a bunch of times. And if you got as many colors as I do, 2 drops of black. If you got as many colors as I do to make, you can't keep them all in your head, can you? Alright, 2 drops of black. Now this is a blue highlight. Okay, we're going to add it. Get a couple stirs here, get that kind of going. Alright, alright, oop. I'm supposed to do 8. See how 1 fell off there? So I got an extra drop. That's why I say it's hard to make them exactly right every time. And I've had people say, well, take and put your drops in a spoon and dip it in. Well, you're going to lose a little bit, right? A little bit in the spoon. And they could do the same thing. It could do that drop in the spoon too. Then there you go. Alright, now, you see what I'm saying? If you've done it in this cup, you can do it in your spoon. How do you take a drop back out? Alright, this is chartreuse. Okay, this little spoon I'm using is a smidgen. That's right. You can see it's very small. Now, and the silvers, I'm doing 2 sizes, so I'm using the half a smidgen. Yeah, that ain't much at all, is it? I actually think it's a pinch is bigger. Yeah, I show those to people, and sometimes they come around and they're like, oh my gosh. When you're mixing a cup like this, you don't need something big to measure with. And blue. Chartreuse blue. Silver is 008. Okay? And I'm doing half a smidgen of that. And 1 silver is 015. That's why I'm using 2 different sizes. Alright guys. My air compressor come on during that time. It cut me off, didn't it? When you're adding the black coloring, it's really important. A drop can make a difference. On the blue highlight, it doesn't make as much difference. A drop's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Oops. That was my fault. I ran some over. I had my tip a little bit of an angle. I was trying to see what I was doing. My notes there. I ran it over a little bit. That's fine. When you're doing a solid color like this, anything left over in the spew, the runners, you can reuse, so it's no big deal. Alright, let's let that cool, and we're going to open the molds. Alright guys, let's open these molds. Bam. Oh yeah, there you go. Let me pull one of them off here. Alright. Yeah, looks like a little bait fish, doesn't it? Alright, before I give y'all the information, or let me do it while I'm sharing this with you. Put your number down on Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. This video is loaded. Put your number down 1 through 400 on Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. On the same week, I do a random number draw. Okay? And we go see who wins. Whoever gets closest to the number without going over the number. Price is right. You can't go over the number. Okay? Without going over the number, it's going to win. Alright? All those came out. I do that draw again on Wednesday evening. I'm telling you that because there's people, guys, that still leave numbers sometimes on Friday. Yeah, it's over with. So, somehow you're messing this information. And I try to do it twice. I try to do it in the shop part, and I try to do it at the end. So, it's important, right? If you leave your number on Thursday, it's done. Somebody done won. Good chance on Thursday I done mailed out to somebody. If people get to me on Wednesday night, or by Thursday, I'm out to them on Friday. Let me show you a trick. Here's what I said in the video too. If you're using a jig with a keeper on that, It better be very small. That is pretty small. If it's a big one, I see the guys that make doubles, one on both ways. You don't need all that. That can bust the bait up. You can see this bait is very, very small. I'm touching back the camera. It's very small. It's thin, okay? But that's what gives it all this action. Yeah, that's right. It's got good action. The grubs are the same way. These little grubs, I don't know how many of y'all throw little 2-inch grubs. If you put a big bait keeper in that, it's going to bust it all to pieces. If you either cut the bait keeper off, I sell them without the bait keeper. But you can take a little pair of nippers and cut them off. I do it all the time. Now, if you take this little bait, I'm going to try to do this in front of the camera. I don't know. I'm trying to look behind the camera too. Run it through there about that far. Bring it right out the middle of the back. Bam. See, I cut that little point off. I ran a touch too far. Alright. I try to cut that little point off right there and see how that'll fit up against the head good there now. That's right. That's what you want. You want to fit up against that head good. And you want to come out the middle of that back, which is hard because it's thin. But when you rig it right, you get all that tail action. Yep, see that? That little bait, this little bait, I mean, it swims really good, okay? Got a great swim to it. The other one that swims good, because that little grub, y'all see me just use this little grub the other day in a video. And this, we shot a chaos there. I said, I'm going to pick a chaos up. I got baits laying here beside right underneath y'all's nose right here. It's probably 50 baits laying there. They're all seconds. I'm going to pick one up and show you what I'm talking about. See this chaos? This is supposed to be live bait. It has very, very little bit of the Virginia shad color in the back. Live bait's Virginia shad pearl belly. See the pearl? I got more pearl in it. We'll still catch fish, we're sure. But I can't sell them, but I'll give them to somebody that comes around. This is the chaos too. This thing mold makes 10 at a time. Okay? Now see, this mold has a little bit of a flat nose on it. But if you want to make it shorter, make it shorter. Alright? See, it'll pop right on there. Hard to do that in front of the camera, guys. I gotta hold it just the right position in front of me. Do y'all have to do that? Alright? And you can see can y'all see the hook through there? It's a red hook. You can make it out. It's not a dark smoke. But coming through water that's, say, 2-foot visibility or better, it looks like a live shad, doesn't it? Alright, guys. Appreciate y'all, guys. Leave your number. Wednesday evening, like I said, we're gonna do the draw. And then email me your address. Don't even think, well, Dennis, I've ordered from you before. That doesn't matter, guys. I have a lot of orders come through. If I gotta go look for your name and address, I have to go back through pages and pages on the internet to find it sometimes. That's right. And of course, a lot of y'all, your name that you go by on YouTube is not your real name. Some of you go by Big Deer Hunter 69. I don't know who Big Deer Hunter is. You see what I'm saying? That's right. You got it. Appreciate y'all, guys. Hope you enjoy the catching after this. We're still during the spawn. Still a little tough. Still caught some decent ones. I caught some decent ones on this one. I was fishing an area in the back of a cove. There was a guy just came through. They was pulling minnows. I'm seeing people doing that a lot right now. A lot of people are pulling minnows or flatlining jigs because crappie are scattered. And this area had crappie scattered all through it. I could see them come through groups of them, 3 or 4 at a time. Sometimes it'd be 4 or 5 at the most I ever seen. I could see them come through the live scope. They were kicking around. But they were scattered. There were some stumps in the area. There's some little brush piles somebody put down years ago. Ain't much left of them now. But they would stop around that. And I just sit there in one place and I just fan casting around the boat. And that's, I just set the spot lock on for a lot, I probably sat there for an hour and a half. And I caught quite a few good fish, but caught some small ones too. But try to show y'all some of the better ones. Appreciate y'all, guys. See you next time. Fishing Lake Country. Bam. All right, guys. See if we can get this one in. I lost the first one. First fish I hooked, I lost. It was good fish. There's a boat in here when I came in. He's back around that corner now. You can go by the way. He's back there. He was pulling minnows. He's a guide. I've run into him many a times. Seen him out here. I don't know him, but he was pulling minnows. That's a good fish. Shiner, Virginia shad color. See that? Bam. Pulled him down too, didn't he? That's good fish. Good 12 and a half inch fish. I'm not going to measure him, guys, but I'm gonna try to keep going. I'm just gonna try to keep going for this guy sees me catching a bunch of them. Like I said, they're pulling menace and they're guiding. And what I'm doing, I've seen fish breaking, and there's some scattered trash around here. I have fished here before. I mean, it's pieces of stuff everywhere that landowners have put out here and there. Bam. Where you going? Trying to keep my trolling motor here one. Oh, you ain't very big. Run up under the boat and start toward the front of the boat. The first thing they want to do. I got one of my moat in the way here. He's smaller. He's probably 10 inches. Virginia shad. Shiner. I'm going to stick with this color, guys. The water's trying to clear. It's just a natural looking color. It looks like a live minnow. Bam. Isn't that like he got some size to him? I was trying to keep him moving. I got a jig head on here that was gave to me, and I like the jig. I like the shape of the lead and everything. But I can tell you something about these hooks that with the bend in them. Different companies call them different things. I sharpened this one. Very few of them are sharp. If you don't think so, try to dig it. Y'all can't see the scratches on my fingernail. Try to dig it into your fingernail. If it slides off your fingernail and it's not trying to scratch your fingernail, it's not sharp. And I sharpened it, so that helped it. But check them sometimes. You'll be surprised. I'm telling you. When this fish hit, I felt him hit. I felt the pressure. He didn't whack it. I felt the pressure. I set the hook and I pulled hard for a little bit. That's a good one too, guys. Bam. Virginia shad. Well, he's not as big as the first one, but he's close. Let's check it. Yeah, he's 12 inches. Go back and tell your buddies it tastes good. Right? Go back and tell them it tastes good. I think our first one was probably 13. All right, guys. Let's try a couple more on this bait. If you're fishing post-spawned, okay, we got fish here that are spawning, and we got fish here I think that are finishing up. I think those have finished. I'm gonna cut all that. I'll cut all that out while I fight my line there. If you're fishing post-spawn, about to fall, you're not gonna beat a swim bait. I've got this shiner. It's 2 inches. I cut this a touch off the nose so it goes up against the head here. I've got the Chaos. I got the grub, hot tail grub. Chaos 2. I got the original Chaos. It's 2 1/4. Chaos 2 is 2 inches. Both of them work great, and I got the little 1.5 one. All right. So I've got 4 swim baits plus I got curly tail grub. I seen somebody asking the other day in a video in the comments section. I always read some of the comments, and they said, "Where can you find a good grub?" Let me tell you this. I don't know what's happening, but let me tell you a secret. Okay, I don't tell everybody this, so keep it to yourself. People advertise. I see guys on YouTube saying, "Oh, you want a jig with a double barb holder right here. You want a double barb." So I got none. You want a jig with none's what you want. If you got a double barb and you got a small thin bait like this, you're gonna bust it all to pieces. I don't have many baits that will take that. I hear guys, so I get two fish off the bait and it busts up. It's not the fish a lot of times that's busting it up. It's that jig holder. Take the jig holder off. I buy mine without them. I sell mine without them. If I got jigs that has the lead holder, the collar, if you want to call it, I cut them off. I cut them off. That's all they do is bust up your jigs. And you know what? That's why a lot of folks tell me, "Wow, your baits last long. I catch more fish off of one." I had a guy tell me one time, "You ready? I'm going to tell you this." And you're going to go like, "No way." And I know he's telling me the truth. He's an older fella. He said he caught 60 crappie off of one bait, one stinger. And he's using a jig like this because it doesn't tear him up. You can catch bundles with it like that. You bust this head up, you can't keep, it's no good, right? The other jig heads I like is one has a little metal hook on them, but once you put a jig on that, and if you take that jig back off, it ain't no good. That'll bust it up, right? It tears it to pieces. But that collar, and yeah, guys say, "Yeah, you want with double collars, little lead hooks on both sides." Yeah, that'll bust them up really good. He's just trying to sell baits for a company, right? Try one without a collar and tell me your baits don't last longer. Oh, this is a baby here, little males. Yeah, see, a lot of these fish are done. A lot of them are still spawning. That's a little male there. He's probably 8 inches at the most. He's a big one. Bam. Oh, he's probably right at 10 inches. In that area, 9.5 to 10. Yeah, I switched that jig head to one of mine. Yeah, he's probably 9.5 to one of my jig heads. Because I got hung up, guys. So now I'm throwing chartreuse. I thought, let's try chartreuse. Try a couple some colors. Sometimes you just got to change things a little bit too when you fish in an area till you find a color that seems to be better than the other ones. Bam. Alright guys, it's been a while. They quit on me. And then I got hung up, lost the jig head. So when I tied a new jig head on, I tied on chartreuse. And one of mine. And of course I checked it and I sharpened it. I pretty good about wanting to check them before and see, when you got them good and sharp, they sink on in there. That's a decent fish. There you go. He's probably pushing 10.5, 10.75, maybe even around 11. There you go. Genia shad. All right, guys, I'm gonna close on that one. Like I said, they've caught on to me in this area. I see it sitting here, seeing a couple kicking around here. Good spawning areas, a lot of stumps, a lot of little pieces of cover, a lot of stumps and pieces junked around. And I've been here for a good little bit. And I see them coming in, I see them leaving, I see 4 or 5 go this, come past me and throwing at them, but they're getting harder to catch all the time. After a while, I could probably switch to a different bait shape and fish the area and catch on, but you fish in an area or a boat dock, and I'm fishing a boat dock with the same bait. I said this many times. I switch body shapes or colors, and I usually catch a few more. It makes a difference. When you fish in an area for a while, try that. All right, guys, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching Fishing Lake Country. Virginia shad shiner. Got a good little tail, moves really easy. Okay, see a little thumping tail right there? It gets really skinny back in here. Yep, so it moves easy. It's not a real thick bait anyway. That's why I was talking about a barb. You put a big barb in this thing, you just bust it all to pieces. You want no barb. Okay? That's just paint on mine. Alright? It'll stay up there. As long as you don't bust it. That's why it lasts longer, because you don't bust it up, right? Most time when you catch a couple fish, the reason you get rid of it is busted at the head. And that's because that barb's on it, right? Appreciate y'all guys. Thank y'all for watching. Put your number down, 1 through 400. Oh, did I tell y'all this was support a catch? Y'all done seen the title, so you know anyway, right? Put your number down, 1 to 400. Wednesday evening, we'll do a random number draw. I film that and load that on Thursday, see who won, okay? Usually the winner gets to me on Wednesday night or Thursday, because I try to comment to on Wednesday night. It don't always happen. I get busy editing, other things happening. And sometimes it's the next morning, I think, oop, I didn't get to him. Give me your address on Thursday, I'll mail it to you on Friday. If I don't get your address to sometime Friday evening, it might be Monday or Tuesday before I mail out. So I go by the post office usually on Fridays. Okay, definitely going to be that way tomorrow. Got to power wash a house and a boat house tomorrow. Yep, way down on the other end of the lake. So when I come back, I'll be coming by the Mexican restaurant. Gonna stop and get me something to eat. It'll probably be 1 or 2 o'clock by the time I get done, and I go right past the post office. So if you email me on Thursday night your address, hey, I'll get that to you on Fridays. Hey guys, Fishing Lake Country. Good luck to everybody. Make sure you're a subscriber. And remember the rule, if you go over the number, you're out. Price is right. That's right. See ya.